And greetings, happy Wednesday. Thanks for tuning in here today, live on demand. Not all that much, though, in demand. And we're here because they couldn't find anybody else. I am Steve Deace. Todd Erzin is here with me, as well as Aaron McIntyre. Let us know what you think about what we think via the stevedeace.com inbox. Steve at stevedeace.com is the email address. That's DEACE. Like us on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter at Steve Deace Show. You look for us as well on MeWe, Parler, and Gab. And again, the last name, as always, hasn't changed since I told you the last time. It's still DEACE. If you're looking for clips of the program, you can watch for free, but can also be uncensored, unfiltered. Go to rumble.com/Steve Deace Show. Again, rumble.com/Steve Deace Show. I would like to see our amount of subscribers on the Rumble page exceed the amount of subscribers on that other page who will not be named. But I can't do that on my own. You guys have to make that happen. Go to rumble.com/Steve Deace Show. We have a jam-packed show lined up for you today. Of course, it is a Wednesday, so some of our favorites are lined up for you. The weekly prophet of woe and lamentation, Daniel Horowitz, will be with us. I'm sure he has nothing at all to talk about, given what is going on right now. You can also look forward to Buy, Seller, Hold coming up at the bottom of the hour. This is when all of you take control of the subject matter we will be discussing and addressing here on the program. That's here in about, 28 minutes from now. But before we get to all of that, here is Aaron's rundown of what happened while we were away.
What happened while we were away, brought to you by watching the COVID stand gears of war turn. The CDC yesterday announced it's changing its recommendation on mask usage, saying even vaccinated people must now start wearing masks in certain settings. In addition, the CDC is recommending everyone in K-12 schools wear masks indoors. Everyone, including teachers, staff, and students. Here's CDC Director Rochelle Walensky.
This moment, and most importantly, the associated illness, suffering, and death could have been avoided with higher vaccination coverage in this country.
Dr. Leanna Wynn, the baby killer who wasn't baby killer enough for Planned Parenthood, was back at it on CNN.
The CDC also today said that if you are vaccinated but asymptomatic and now you're exposed to somebody who has COVID-19, you should be tested, you should still be quarantining, and I think that's really important for people to know.
New York City Mayor Bill de Blasio is doing what communists like himself do best in mandating the vaccine for all city workers.
We've got to shake people at this point and say, come on now. We tried voluntary. We could not have been more kind and compassionate as a country. Free testing everywhere you turn, incentives, friendly, warm embrace. The voluntary phase is over.
All of this comes the same day NBC News received a scoop based on CDC data that fully vaccinated individuals aren't just contracting COVID, but are actually carrying higher levels of the virus than previously thought. Now would be a good time to remind you that this is what Dr. Fauci said regarding vaccinated people and CDC guidelines just a couple of months ago versus what he's saying today.
Well, what's happened, there's been an accumulation of data, John, showing in the real world effectiveness of the vaccines. It is even better than in the clinical trials.
The data are clear, the most recent data, that when a person gets infected who has been vaccinated, namely a breakthrough infection, and they get infected with the Delta variant, that the level of virus in their nasopharynx is about 1,000 times higher than with the Alpha variant.
A number of papers have come out in the past couple of weeks showing that the vaccine protects even against the variants.
Something has changed, and what has changed is the virus. The CDC hasn't changed, and the CDC hasn't really flip-flopped at all.
And thirdly, we're seeing that it is very unlikely that a vaccinated person, even if there's a breakthrough infection, would transmit it to someone else.
And it has been well documented that even though it's a rare occurrence, those individuals can and have transmitted the virus to uninfected individuals.
So the accumulation of all of those scientific facts, information, and evidence brought the CDC to make that decision to say, now, when you're vaccinated, you don't need to wear a mask, not only outdoors, but you don't need to wear it indoors.
And for that reason, the recommendations and the guidelines have been changed to say that if you are vaccinated, even though you are vaccinated, when you are in an indoor public setting in an area of the country with a high degree of viral dynamics, namely the red and orange sections on the CDC chart, then you need to wear a mask, even though you are vaccinated.
In completely unrelated news, Senator Rand Paul has officially sent a criminal referral regarding Dr. Fauci and funding to the Wuhan lab to the Department of Justice. Daily Defiance, we go to Liberty, Missouri, where a listener to the show, Brody Pershawn, spoke to his school board about the prospect of mandating masks again. He said he was the only parent in the room opposed to masking.
In Sweden, 39% of folks have been vaccinated. More folks in Missouri, percentage-wise, have been vaccinated. In Sweden, they had no mask policy. For the past 2 weeks in Sweden, there have been 0 COVID deaths. The vaccine at best is a therapeutic. In Israel, second highest vaccine rates in all the world. The Prime Minister 2 weeks ago said the vaccine has been a failure. They had more cases this July than last July. And they've had stricter lockdowns and masks. I appreciate the sentiments before about data. I want to share a little data as well. Do you mind if I ask a question? Is that appropriate, or is that not allowed?
You can ask. We're not going to answer.
I'm just curious, if anyone knows, and as hard as this number is to say, if anyone knows how many children between last year and this year have died with COVID? Too many. I appreciate that. I'm looking at a CDC document as of July 21st. I have 337. Can anyone tell me how many kids died with pneumonia during that same time frame?
Less than half of that.
No, that's not correct. It's 819 according to the CDC. I'm just asking for consistency. If we didn't do this with pneumonia, why would we do it with COVID?
Now that's a man. Yesterday on Capitol Hill, however, we had a demonstration of whatever the opposite of manliness is.
I never expected a day to be quite as emotional for me as it has been.
During a hearing on the events at the Capitol on January 6th, a number of Capitol Hill police officers spoke about the supposedly traumatic experience.
I've been left with the psychological trauma and the emotional anxiety of having survived such a horrific event.
But you guys won. You guys held.
The indifference shown to my colleagues is disgraceful.
You know, democracies are not defined by our bad days.
In other news, National Right to Life filed an amicus brief in the upcoming case before the Supreme Court regarding Mississippi's 15-week abortion ban. In the amicus brief, the NRLC stopped short of calling for a complete overruling of Roe and Casey. Instead, the brief asks the court for a, quote, new roadmap for overturning Roe. In addition, the brief says, instead of asking for a complete overturn, the decision to overturn Roe, quote, will likely rest with future courts, end quote. I'll let you be the judge of why the NRLC is so flaccid here. And finally, it's time to commemorate a very special day. Steve, it is your birthday. All right, enough of that. That's what happened while we were away.
Nice.
Happy birthday, man.
Thank you. I appreciate it. If you are surprised, the National Right to Life filed a brief in a case challenging Roe that didn't ask the court to overturn Roe. If you're surprised by that, you just started listening to this show like yesterday or 30 seconds ago. Okay. Aaron's montage brought to you by our friends over at Keeps. How will you know you're ready to do something about that receding hairline in your bald spot when they're the first things you see in the mirror and you're tired of seeing them? All right. So what do? How about go to Keeps, which has more 5-star reviews than any of their competitors and hundreds of thousands of guys trusting them for their hair loss prevention because they offer the same doctor-recommended, FDA-approved hair loss treatment, and they offer the generic versions, though, so you're going to pay about half the cost. Best of all, not just the savings. How about the convenience? You do everything online. You just take a few pictures of your hair, answer a few easy questions, and then a licensed doctor will review your info and recommend the right hair loss treatment for you. So convenience, big savings, and then even more savings to get you started. Half off your first order if you get started today when you go to keeps.com/grow. That's KEEPS for keeps.com/grow. Again, that's keeps.com/grow. You know, I kind of think, shouldn't we be, why do people wish the person who did nothing happy birthday? Right? I mean, shouldn't people's moms get phone calls? Hey, man, Great job on this day.
That's
you know what I'm saying?
Point.
I mean, I just kind of just laid there and, got pushed out of the birth canal. I mean, she did all the work here. What did I do? Nothing. Not a damn thing. I didn't do anything. Shouldn't be calling people's mom. Hey, so you know what? Mom, happy birthday to you. You mean?
That's Mother's Day.
Yeah. I mean, well, okay. It's just, I didn't do anything. I just arrived. I mean, but I appreciate it. Thank you. In honor of my birthday today, I would like to do a public service, if you don't mind. Because I'm sensing, and maybe it's just me, I'm sensing a lot of confusion out there. Are you guys sensing it too?
Just a little bit.
Just a lot of people are, they think that they just can't wrap their mind around, what seems to be, it's not, mind you, of course, but what at least it has the appearance to be conflicting information, right?
Well, we just found out that National Right to Life is arguably the greatest grift in the history of man, so little confusion.
Okay, I can understand that. I can't do anything about that. I tried for years. All it did was not get me invited to ever speak at the March for Life, completely excommunicated from the pro-life speaking circuit, and far fewer friends than I already didn't have many of. That's what I had to show for it. Okay, so I already tried to do something about that. I failed. I couldn't. But let me see if I can do something about this. All right, because there does appear to be a lot of confusion where COVID is concerned. Let me clarify things for you if you don't mind. Just bear with me here for a few seconds. All right, so
let's do this. Let's have a list submitted by Alexander Rogers, the top guitar songs of the 70s. He says these are in no order, but I'm actually going to put them in order here.
All right, they belong, how many are there?
17.
Oh, wow. So do we think that's one of the top 17, buy and sell each one?
Correct.
Okay. All right.
We'll start with this one, Wheel in the Sky.
Oh, I'm a buy. I'm a big Journey guy. Remember, it's one of the first two CDs I ever bought, Journey's Greatest Hits and Big Daddy Kane. It's a Big Daddy thing. That's the confusion of my childhood, yes.
Oh, my goodness. That's deranged.
Drink some more apple cider vinegar, Erzin. Hey, man, anything goes when it comes to hoes because pimping ain't easy, all right? You just need to know that. All right.
See, where's the Captain America shirt? That's the best part of that. Number 16, Don't Fear the Reaper.
Oh, I gotta buy that. Are you kidding me?
This
absolutely have to buy that.
Greatest guitar songs.
Absolutely. It's a classic, man.
One of the best cowbell songs of all time.
That's certainly number one on the list. Yeah. I think you could even have more cowbell in that song if you wanted. Yes,
exactly. So you're still selling. Okay. Number 15, Stranglehold.
Sell.
Yeah, I'm gonna sell.
Number 14, this needs to be higher. Layla.
It does need to be higher. In fact, it should just be higher on the grounds, and I'm all in on it, like Eric Clapton right now. Dude's freaking Moses, like, to me right now. It's like he just like became like Thomas Paine or something. Okay, so I'm in, man.
But
I want to give slow hand to hand.
Gotcha.
Okay, so anything Clapton right now gets my seal of approval about right now.
I'll buy though. This is the 70s. I mean, we should be blown away by the songs before us in this next 13. Blown away.
Yeah, you know what? You're right about that.
And then, which is not to downsell Layla.
It is the greatest guitar riff era of music.
Yeah.
You're right about that. We should be. I agree with you. That's a good point.
I apologize. I goofed up. That was number 14. Number 15 was Jessica.
Sell.
Yeah, I'm going to sell. I'm with you.
We need to do better.
Yeah, this decade can do better. Yes.
Let's see. Let's go to number 13 now. My Sharona.
Sell.
I got to sell,
Ahead of Layla?
Yeah. Well, he's the one doing the list. The kid. Aaron is in real time. He's the one that put My Sharona from the Knack ahead of Slow Hand. Okay.
Sell.
Let's do number 12, Sweet Madame Blue.
Wow.
Sell.
This is getting really disappointing.
Sell.
11, Long Time.
By Boston?
Yeah, by Boston. Yeah.
Now we're
okay.
I don't think I'd take it over Layla, but I'm looking for scraps here, so I'll take it.
At this point, we're begging.
Yes.
Agreed. Especially if you include the foreplay interlude.
Oh, yeah.
You include that into it as well? Okay. If we include both, if we include the foreplay interlude into the song, is it off?
This song is so good.
Yeah.
that I was jamming out to it, backing my car out of the garage at home, going to work, and I wasn't paying attention, and I backed my car into my dad's car. Yeah.
It was a long time before you got to drive again, wasn't it?
It was a little bit.
Who knew how prophetic that song was about to be?
He was actually okay with me. God bless you, Dad. So.
Yeah, I'll buy for sure on that one.
Number 9, Dust in the Wind.
No, that's not classic.
It's a classic acoustic riff, man.
But we're not. Are we? We're not doing. I thought we were doing electric guitar. Or is it just guitar?
It's just
no,
guitar.
I'm still not. No, we're not doing slow dance. No.
No, man.
Nope.
I actually think. I mean, "Carry On My Wayward Son" is a strong guitar song, right? That's a strong one.
Okay.
I don't know. I kind of feel like we should honor Dust in the Wind. I'm going to buy. Because all we are is dust in the wind, dude.
Okay.
Number 8, Carry On My Wayward Son.
Oh, there we go. Okay. Yeah, all right. So let me see that. I'm going to retroactively sell. Like Sweden retroactively added a death on July 16th yesterday to snap their streak. It's like they knew I was keeping track, so they just threw it in there to stop me. I'm gonna sell on Dust in the Wind because I don't think Kansas should get 2 songs if we're gonna have, you know, like the Knack on the list. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, so I think Carry On My Wayward Son belongs on the list more than Dust in the Wind does.
I'm going to sell that's too high, though.
Number 7, I'm just going to admit to you, I probably lost count like 5 times. Number 7, Iron Man.
Oh, from Black Sabbath.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Remember the Road Warriors from WCW, NWA Wrestling used to come to that? Yeah, Hawk and Animal.
I'm selling. This is too high.
You know what? I'm in. I'll buy. Yeah.
Too high.
Can he see or is he blind? Or right? That's the song. Yeah. Has he lost his mind? Can he see or is he blind? That's how the song opens. That's right. Yes.
What one was that? That was number 7 or 8?
Yes.
Yeah, it was a number.
Number 6.
We're doing CDC ranking.
Yeah.
It's a number. It's a number. It's in there somewhere.
Number,
variant.
Yeah.
It's a number.
Number 6, China Grove.
Oh, that's an underrated selection. Now I kind of think. Oh,
that's China Grove?
Yeah.
Oh,
that's Doobie Brothers. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, that, you know what? I just think that's an underrated jam, man. I got to give him that. I like that poll. I mean, if we were sitting around like with the editors of Rolling Stone magazine, would this be like the number 6 guitar song of the 70s? No. But we're chilling with some dude named Alexander Rogers, okay? So I like the poll. I like it. It's too high, but I like it. I like the fact that he went there. So I'm in. I'll buy.
Number 5, Take It Easy.
Gosh, I love the Eagles so much. Running down the road, trying to loosen my load. I got 7 women on my mind.
I don't think of this as a classic guitar.
4 that want to hold me, 2 that want to stone me. 1 says she's a friend of mine.
All you're talking about lyrics.
There's a banjo in here, though. I know that's not a guitar, but that's during one of the guitar riffs.
I'm selling.
Yeah. Man, this almost just feels like anti-American, frankly.
Yeah.
Selling the Eagles on any song list is on it. You know, buy, sell, or hold. You can be hung for selling on anything Eagles related in a music category. That's literally a capital offense in America.
Of course, we sell on that.
It is.
They're that
because my conscience is really conflicted here. That the banjo song does not belong on the greatest guitar riffs of the 70s, but feels compelled just because it was the Eagles that I have to buy, just auto buy. I have to. Nevertheless, I have to.
Number 4, Hotel California.
Well, isn't that technically 1980? Or was that 1979? It's right on the edge, man.
Is it really?
Yeah. It's either 79 or 80 when that album came out, I thought. Maybe it was 77, actually. No, I'm wrong. Now they do
76.
it 77. Oh, so I'm wrong again. Okay. Then, all right, so if we're going to do...
I don't understand what a guitar song is. I totally took that too literally.
If we're going to do 2 Eagles guitar songs, then obviously Hotel California belongs on the list. But Take It Easy, Already Gone is the other song. Not Take It Easy. So I might have to go, since the Eagles are repped, I have to now go back retroactively. Yeah, you guys know the integrity of these music lists mean a lot to me. I must now go back and retroactively disqualify Take It Easy. since Hotel California is on the list.
By the way, once we get to the end of this, there's a glaring omission on this list. Number 3, Sultans of Swing.
Sal.
Yeah, Sal.
I can see why someone would put it on the list. It shouldn't be number 3, but I'll buy it. I can see why someone would put it on the list. Yeah.
Number 2, Freebird.
Buy.
You have to buy.
Yeah.
Can you do it? All right.
Yeah.
Is this a capital offense to do anything 70s music related that doesn't include? I mean, dude, it's greatest disco songs. Freebird. If you do a 70s music best disco singers, Donna Summer, Skinnerd. If you do a 70s music list, regardless of genre, does Freebird have to be included? Is that like in the U.S. code?
Yes.
I like that.
Okay.
I like that.
All right.
And number 1, Stairway to Heaven. The end, the part at the end.
Yeah, the part at the end. Yeah, I mean, dude, there are so many other great Zeppelin guitar riffs. Houses of the Holy, Immigrant Song, Black Dog, which they named after a dog that kept walking into the studio in the house where they were making the albums. They just named a song after him, and they called him Black Dog. That was the name they gave him. Rock and Roll, Whole Lot of Love. Yeah. But again, is it a capital offense to vote no on Stairway to Heaven, like on anything?
No, because you just made the case why you could. You're not.
I kind of think you have to vote for Stairway to Heaven, like for anything. Like best orchestral arranger, Stairway to Heaven, buy. I kind of feel like that's like an American, even though it's a British band. I kind of feel like that's an American pop music auto buy. I have to buy. Greatest songs of the 90s, Stairway to Heaven, buy. Like no matter what the list is, you have to buy it.
Yeah. Is Stairway to Heaven like the pop music Zeppelin, like the thing that most people liked, but people who are really like it's not dissing that. I'd listen to Kashmir over and over again.
I think that's their best song, you know. It's a different era because back then, like, do you know how many top 10 singles on the Billboard chart Led Zeppelin had?
Top 10?
They never had a song in the top 10.
Are you kidding me?
The highest song they ever had, Whole Lot of Love, got into the top 20. The reason why is that's why they called it arena rock. Because they just would not create a lot of 2 and 3 and 4 minute songs that would be played on radio.
Time.
Sure.
And so they just refused to edit. They refused to edit their music down.
Respect.
Okay. And they just and they sold out so many arenas. They're like, we don't care if we sell a few extra albums. We got 100,000 people sitting at Oklahoma Coliseum to see us. We don't care. And so, you know, they like. If you listen to the 70s channel on Sirius XM, they go back every Sunday, and I'll hear this on the way coming home from church, and they'll replay the old Casey Kasem American Top 40s, like the actual broadcast from that era. And when he gets like almost to number 1, he'll list all the number 1 songs and albums. Number 1 on the album chart again, Led Zeppelin. It doesn't matter like what year in the 70s it is. Like they had like the number 1 album like almost every year, or a number 1 album almost every year, even though they never had really a lot of songs that were released for radio because they wouldn't edit them down.
That's a cool story, bro.
And for that,
Makes sense.
and because of that, Zeppelin has to be on this list somewhere.
Agreed.
Therefore, we'll buy on those grounds alone. Okay.
All right, here's the glaring omission.
Nair, nair, nair.
Yeah.
Nair, nair, nair. Nair, 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 nair. Is that what you're thinking? Yeah.
Wasn't
like Highway to Hell.
80s?
Back in Black is in the 80s. That's Highway to Hell.
Oh,
that's
well,
Bon
glaring,
Scott in the 70s.
That's a glaring omission then.
Yeah.
The glaring omission I was thinking of, long, cool woman in a black dress.
Yeah, I could see that. I could see that too. Yeah. To me, you can't do a list of greatest guitar songs in the 70s or 80s and not include AC/DC. They are the ultimate masters of turning 3 or 4 chords into, you know, over and over and over again into masterful guitar. I mean, they're arguably the greatest guitar rock band of all time. That's their shtick.
There was no Rolling Stones in there. I mean, there's no way. There's just no way.
Yeah, would like Gimme Shelter had been in the 70s?
If you were doing this list, just give me your Mount Rushmore then.
Of guitar songs?
Yeah.
See, the songs would be so hard.
Yeah.
Okay. Something from AC/DC, something from Zeppelin. See what I'm doing here?
Yeah.
I mean, you know, I would start there. there's so much. That's why we thought this list was going to be hard. There's so much great guitar music from that era, right?
Yeah. Oh, I know.
Yeah.
That's all I've got for buy, sell, or hold. That got us up to almost quitting time for buy, sell, or hold.
Did you guys see Asa Hutchinson wants a special session of the legislature in Arkansas to repeal their mask ban?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. And your plan is to blackmail these people? I just run them out of town. I mean, how are Asa Hutchinson and Kay Ivey leading states in the South right now?
Yeah,
I have to talk to you like I talk to New Yorkers. You just gonna take that? Are you gonna take that?
Come on, man. If you're a red state like Arkansas, and they actually do this, and the first day it doesn't look like the streets of Milan or Paris last weekend protesting the vaccine passports, then in all honesty, man, turn in all your guns. They're just for show. You're just hunters. You're into gun culture. You're not into liberty, freedom, or what the real purpose of the Second Amendment is for. This isn't about Asa Hutchinson. It's about you. Governments can't mandate anything. You can only comply. That's what government by the consent of the governed means. More in a moment.